So the one I really want to ask you about is very current right now. We're about to have a negative 25% difficulty adjustment. And if you would have told me last year at this time before the halving event that we would see a negative 25% difficulty adjustment in the quote unquote middle portion of this bull cycle, I would have laughed in your face and said, no way. And then if you would have told me that it negative 5 and a negative 15% adjustment preceded it, I would have really laughed at you. But then I probably would have known what happened, which was China completely outright banned mining. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that there's more pain to kind of come as far as more hardware to be shut down? We're almost approaching a 50% difficulty adjustment from the top, which kind of makes me feel like most of the pain as far as the hashing piece has occurred. But is there more? Was there more hashing in China than what we had thought?
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting how I'm just thinking of this. Like, you could argue there's actually a parallel with 2013 here, where because we rallied to $270 and then we crashed down to $80. And I'm trying to remember what the catalyst was, but it was some kind of fear, uncertainty, doubt about, I was going to say Silk Road, but somehow it feels like that was later. And then, so the story is that during 2013, so we rallied from, it was all the way down to $30, $270 down to 80. And then we were like in the doldrums. For the longest time, we were trading between like $90 and $150. And then by the end of the year, so like before the year was over, we rallied to $1,100, like almost gold parity. Since the beginning of this bull, I've been wondering like, is it possible that we could get a replay of that where first there's enthusiasm and then somehow the story gets a bit broken and people are like all of a sudden worried. And so I think weirdly, people were comfortable with the fact that there was so much mining happening in China. It was kind of like, it was a reason to be worried, but like it had been there for so long. I think there's just, right now, people just don't know what it means. I think that is what the market is saying. Like, we don't really know what this means, but it's a big change and we're really worried. But the reality is, this is an amazing stress test for Bitcoin. And it's just, the network is, of course, 100% uptime. Actually, if you look at in dollar terms, the fees aren't really that affected. It's still $5 to send a Bitcoin, even though there's way less blocks per day being mined than before. The miners are having a field day. The non-Chinese miners are having, massive increase in profitability and revenues. So I forget what your additional question was, but to me, this is like just another stress test. And overall, it's a great thing for Bitcoin. I wasn't expecting it, but it's kind of like what you want in general is for all the governments to play all their cards. And this is China playing their crackdown cards.